Yes, sir. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Millionaire Mansion podcast. My name is James Hodgkin. I'm the owner of the Millionaire Mac Club, and I'm so glad that you're joining us today. Um, you know, for those of you guys that are new to the podcast is a self-improvement podcast where we just talk about different parts of the walks of life that we go through and how I handle it, and hopefully my insight you can apply to your life and take some of the ideas and run with it, and even the ideas that you don't agree with, like, I just ask that you be optimistic and wrestle with them a little bit and maybe see why it does or why it doesn't work for you. But yeah, I love making this podcast because it's like a great opportunity for me to express myself, because to be honest, I'm a thinker. Like, I'm a thinker. I'm constantly always, all of us are always thinking, but like, I really like to think I dive into things a little extra deep sometimes, but it's a blessing and a curse, more of a blessing than a curse. And so this is the podcast is like a great brain dump for me, really. Like, it's cool to just hop on here and with no rules or restrictions, just express myself. So today I wanted to talk about staying disciplined and staying motivated, because right now I'm going through a little short season. Well, I was, not anymore. I was going through a little short season of I was not being disciplined after I conditioned myself to be very disciplined and formed great new habits. And I took a little break. It was a break, because it wasn't like I was unmindful about it. Like, when I went to Arizona for those 20 something days, like, I gave myself a lot of leeway, because I knew the previous months before I went to Phoenix, I was really locked in, and it's hard, honestly. Like, it's hard to be disciplined. It's really hard to be disciplined and in a constant pursuit of achieving your purpose and accomplishing your goals. So I thought it would be pretty good for me to be a little lenient with myself, which I was. And honestly, I really think it served me. And now I'm in the state of getting back into the flow and getting back redisciplined and fully remotivated, because I don't feel like the motivation ever fully left, but it definitely got put on the back burner. You see what I mean? And what I've been doing to get back in the flow is honestly just jumping straight back into it, because oftentimes we'll be like, okay, let me ease into it. But like, if you're easing into it, it's gonna take you a while, and you're gonna fail small. Like, if you do fail, then you're failing small. But if you just jump all the way back into it, and let's say you don't follow all your old habit, or you don't follow all the good habits, like, at least you're failing big. You see what I mean? So I think when trying to reinvent yourself, this is for somebody that hasn't even reinvented themselves, or you have reinvented yourself, but you maybe slipped up a little bit, or you took a break from that really focused self work, is just dive straight into it. Just dive straight into it, because the worst comes to worst, you learn about yourself. You learn, oh, why do I have such a trouble with this habit? Why do I have such a trouble with that habit? And it honestly helps you grow even more. And if you look at it from the perspective of I'm improving myself and I'm only helping myself, not hurting myself. And don't look at the habits as like, oh, I have to do this. Like, no, like, look at those habits that you want in your life and look at the positives that they'll bring you. Like, always remember the positives that they're going to bring you, opposed to, oh, I have to sacrifice this. Because if you're looking at it as a sacrifice, then in your mind, you're going to try to justify why you should keep the bad habit in your life. But if you're looking at it from the aspect of, okay, this is why it's going to benefit me, then your brain's going to be programmed like, okay, then we need to do this because it's helping us. It's helping advance me. You see what I mean? And in terms of staying motivated, honestly, what really helps me is writing my goals every single day. I write my goals every single day twice. So when I first wake up, well, actually more than that, technically, because when I first wake up, I write my 5 biggest goals. Then I have a manifestation book, like a 369 manifestation book. So then I write in that in the morning, afternoon, and at night. And then right before bed, I write my 5 goals again. So I really found that to be a big help, is like writing your goals, because it's a constant reminder of like what you're trying to pursue, what you're going to accomplish, what you're trying to accomplish. And another way to stay motivated is talk about it. Talk about it to as many people as you can. But at the same time, watch out for the bloodsuckers. And by you talking about it, you'll become so sold on your own vision. You'll become so sold on your own vision that when the haters try to hate, you'll be like, okay, like, you know that you can't do it, but I know what I can do. You see what I mean? So I recommend you be careful on who you talk to until you're so sold that nobody can change your mind on it. You see what I mean? But until that point, just talk to the people closest to you, the people closest to you. And honestly, another way to stay motivated is take small dubs. Just take a small step, because the small steps add up. Like, it doesn't matter how big the win is, just as long as you're taking a win. So if you're feeling unmotivated and you know you really need to get something done, well, before you have to go do that big thing, take a small win. Make your bed, or wash the dishes, or go help somebody else with something, and then see how the dopamines and the chemicals in your head like will set off, and you'll be like, okay, that felt kind of good. Now imagine if I take this big dub. So really just take it bit by bit at a time. Like, you don't have to conquer everything at once. You see what I mean? And you know, another thing that helps me stay motivated and stay on task is write things out. Get do brain dumps. Literally just get a piece of paper, and even if the ideas and concepts don't make sense, just get them on paper. Get them out of your head, and then you can reread them and then readjust them instead of it being all jumbled in your mind. Just brain dump. That's something I've been doing a lot, is like brain dumping. Literally just sitting down, phone off, laptop off, just me, a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm just writing whatever comes to my mind. If it's a business idea, if it's how I'm feeling, if it's some goals that I want to accomplish, just really giving those goals and thoughts some time, because with more time, they have more development, and that's what we want. We want our goals to develop, our intentions to develop, our ideas to develop. You see what I mean? So that's what I've been doing to stay motivated and stay consistent. But I really, really appreciate y'all for tapping into the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube. Follow my podcast, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Reach out to me if there's any way that I can help you. And, go check out my 8-minute mindfulness meditation. That was my first ever guided meditation that I made. I'm going to start coming out with those pretty often. So I'm excited about that, and I hope you are too. And I hope everything's going great in your world. Just remember, you live in a world of abundance, and if you don't feel that way, you can change that, and it all starts up here. So, change that mindset. And like my grandma always says, man, keep going and keep growing.